Good morning. Living in grace. When we trust Christ, He gives us a new life. Ephesians chapter 2, verses 8 through 9. For by grace you have been saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of God, not as a result of works, so that no one may boast. The devotion says, before Paul's conversion, if someone had said that he would impact the world for Jesus, he might have laughed. Acts chapter 22, verses 19 and 20. And I said, Lord, they themselves understand that in one synagogue after another I used to imprison and beat those who believed in you. And when the blood of your witness Stephen was being shed, I was also standing by approving and watching out for the coats of those who were slaying him. God's grace can impact anyone. No sin is beyond the reach of His forgiveness. Contrary to what many think, being a Christian does not mean adding good deeds to our life. Instead, by God's grace, believers receive forgiveness and a new nature. Then our inward transformation results in obvious outward changes. The butterfly's metamorphosis is a good example of this. Once it's in a chrysalis, a caterpillar doesn't merely act or appear different from the outside. It truly changes inward as well. Transformation for believers occurs in many areas. Our attitudes change. Salvation by God's grace results in humility and gratitude. Out of thankfulness for all that He has done in our life, we are more compassionate to those around us. Experiencing Christ's forgiveness also results in longing to serve Him by loving and helping others and sharing God's goodness with them. While there are still natural consequences for our sin, God offers us forgiveness and redemption through Jesus. He made a way to heal our broken relationship with Him. What's more, our Father transforms our life so we will become more like His Son and reflect His heart to others. I kind of said a lot of how I feel about this devotion and yesterday's devotion, where I talked about, I used to be angry and flight or fight mode and all that. And then now, I have that peace and everything. So I was reading this. I'm like, oh, I kind of spoke a day ahead because this devotion hits all of that. But I really like the part in this devotion where it talks about you begin to have more compassion for others. I guess I kind of always felt like I had empathy for others because of my childhood and all the trials that I went through. I kind of played devil's advocate or, I don't know. I always felt for other people, but compassion, I don't know how much that's changed for me, but well, I guess here recently, understanding the whole perspective, like this is my perspective and this is your perspective, I have opened up to that. So I guess that would be maybe part of that compassion. Once you realize, with it's like when I was in school to teach, you had to learn all these different learning styles and everything because a child, you don't know what their previous knowledge is. And so you test them at the beginning of the school year, whereas everybody's previous knowledge, then you kind of try to gather them to be closer together, and then you teach forward. That's how I felt about it. And I think it's the same thing. It's like you have to understand this person's perspective. It's going to be different than yours because maybe their maturity level is different, or they have previous knowledge. Their knowledge bank or whatever is different than yours. Their experiences are different than yours. And so I have really worked on understanding, okay, from their perspective, that might look that way or it might feel that way, but my perspective is this way. And I have to be open to understand why that, even though we might experience the same thing, why they have a different memory or feeling about it. Because we all have to lean back on our previous knowledge, our previous experiences. So when it comes to compassion, I was just thinking out loud. I didn't think about this before I came because I'm like, oh, I already know. But, I pray every time I come to do my devotion, I pray about, please give me the words. And it just came to me that that might be really one of the things about the compassion thing that has grown in me, is understanding everybody has a different perspective. Even if you're experiencing the same thing, it feels different, it looks different. So I get that, because some of my kids get so mad at me because I'm like, oh, I feel sorry for them because blah blah blah, and my kids will go, Mom, you feel sorry for everybody. Well, I do feel sorry for everybody, because everybody has a good side, bad side. They have, happy things and sad things, and I just don't like to see anybody suffer, and I don't like to see anybody sick. It really breaks my heart, and but it's because my perspective's a little different, because I went through all these challenges as a child, and I saw a lot of bad things. So I just always assume the worst, like, oh no, how are they going to feed their family? Oh no, how are they going to take care of themselves? And so, I don't know. That's my funny thing. Also, when I was praying after, I read my devotion, and I do my really big one-on-one time prayer with God for the day. And I had an epiphany. If you watched my DoorDash video yesterday, at the end I said something about, oh, God tells me, I think this is God telling me money's not a priority, money is not a priority. So during my prayer, I had an epiphany, and it was like, I felt like God was telling me, it's not necessarily that money isn't a priority, but I need to rely on Him more and let things go and let Him do the work. I don't know if I'm wording that just right, but that was my epiphany during my prayer. And I'm like, oh goodness, such good words. I've told my testimony before, where God just provided out of the blue when we were having this crisis. And I just felt like that's what He's telling me again. Take care of your business. I got you. And that just felt good during my prayer today. Also, I just want to just add to pray for each other. I know in some of the comments, people were talking about needing prayers. I know somebody's having surgeries. Somebody's making a big life change. And I think about all of you, and I seriously pray for all of you. It means a lot to me that you're here. And so I appreciate you all praying for me, and I do the same. And it's kind of nice when I know what's going on, so I can make it more personal during the prayer. And I appreciate that you all share with me. That means a lot to me as well. I really love you guys. Y'all are so awesome, so encouraging. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I know that there's a few of you that are watching that aren't subscribed. If you can hit the subscribe button, that'd be great. If not, that's okay too. Just thought I'd throw it in there. I hope y'all have a good day. It's all foggy and ugly today, but hopefully we'll get a lot done. I'm working on my PowerPoint for tomorrow's live. I'm so excited, so much. I didn't go down a lot of rabbit holes this time so far, so hopefully no rabbit holes for Thursday. All right, have a good one. God bless you. Remember, God loves you too.